It's getting too damn expensive. The price of games are too high, Chase.
Yeah.
The price to play is too high. Games have gone up for sure.
Pay to play.
That's what we do here. This is a pay to play show. But
no, it's not. It's absolutely free. People are watching this for free now.
Just
can't
go to
even
bed.
Give this show away.
But we can give you more recommendations for your backlog because that's going to happen tonight. This is a June preview. This one tripped me up, man. Like I'm having a hard time.
Hang on. This is your front log. These games aren't out yet. Well, most of them aren't out yet.
Anything that we say tonight, I assume, is going to go on a backlog. Like anything that you pick is just going on a backlog.
It can't go on a backlog until it's out, though.
I know what you've picked. I know where it belongs. It's not even going to see the light of day.
I understand what you're saying, but you have to also understand what I'm saying, in that something can't be on your backlog until it's available.
Some of these games are available.
Some of them are. It is June 3rd, so there are a handful of these games, but most of these games are not available. Therefore, Chase, they can't go on your backlog.
I can tell you about a game coming out in 4 months, and you'll say, "Yeah, I'll get around to it someday."
Yes, that is true.
Any game is just immediately to a backlog with you, and that's okay. That's okay, except for at least one that could be a great birthday gift, but you got to somehow play a game early.
You're telling no. Bobby's over here now telling me, "Oh, Chase, you need to wait to play the video game." We're like, I thought you wanted me to play video games as soon and as often as possible.
Hey,
here's one I'm excited
where's Baldur's
about.
Gate?
He goes, well, that one you need to wait on.
Where's Baldur's Gate? That's my question. Where's Baldur's Gate?
It's right here.
Wrapped up in cellophane still?
It's right here. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
still in cellophane.
Yeah.
But it's out of the big box.
Immediately to the backlog.
Now.
I am big box. I'm big box Kirby.
Somebody was just talking about, it was at the game store when I was playing Magic the Gathering, and somebody was saying like, "Oh, hey, anybody want to like do a Baldur's Gate 3 run with me?" And for like a quarter of a second, I thought, "Oh, I could raise my hand and say
you
yes."
son of a bitch.
And then the next quarter of a second, my brain went, "No, that's on your backlog that you're never going to play.
Hey,
you don't need to play with these people."
This Halloween, in this very chair, I am going to dress up in honor of Hideo, Big Box. I will be a Big Box cosplaying as Big Boss.
And I will cosplay as Quiet. So we'll see how that goes.
That would be a fucking snowball's day in hell, my friend. You don't even know how to be quiet, let alone dress the part.
I think I could pull it off.
Everybody chases become quiet.
All I need is a bikini top. I can get one of those.
I can get you one of those by 3:00 with nail polish. This is the June preview, and if you're new to this, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to talk about some games that we've been playing that allegedly are not on a backlog, and then we're going to tell you about the games that we picked from May that are almost assuredly on a backlog, and then we're going to get into the games coming out in June, as well as the free stuff, and give you our recommendations on things that we think are cool. We're not covering every video game ever. Chase puts together a curated playlist. You thought mixtape was the most pretentious list this year. Wait till you see our June lineup. No, actually, June lineup's looking pretty good. And by pretty good, it means we can get caught up on stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to say it looks a little thin right now, but also, as we mentioned on our Monday stream too, this is Summer Games Fest. This week is happening. We're not talking about the Sony stuff that happened yesterday.
No,
we'll talk about that on the next Monday stream with all the other streams and showcases that will happen throughout the week, because we don't have time to talk about.
Sony. Are you doing anything on Tuesday the 9th? Are you recording one of your other mini podcasts? Because I just realized Monday is my wife's birthday, and so we need to bump to Tuesday if we can.
We can bump to Tuesday. That's fine.
Beautiful.
All right. So next Tuesday
the 9th.
Talk about all of the
on 6/9, baby.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Nice.
Anyway, so because of that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some stealth drops of some games and things like that will probably throw off this preview that we're about to give you. So if you do listen to these and go, it sounds like a whole lot there. There's probably more coming.
Yeah, almost assuredly. I'm not upset though, even if it stays this way, because as you'll learn here in just a little bit, I like games a lot, I play a lot of them, and I picked a lot of them for May. So I've got debt. I'm in debt with games, Chase. And one of those
here's
games.
A little tip for you: if you hate all the video games, you don't have to play any of them.
What is dead may never die, allegedly.
You should live like me, is what I'm saying.
I'm not going to talk about Lego Batman tonight. I'll just say we played a little bit of that on Monday night. It's very cool. You know what that game is. Go watch our VOD. I'll talk about that game in some capacity, I'm sure, this year. Maybe I'll stream it again sometime. But a game that I do want to talk about that is kind of a surprise, speaking of us playing games, Mina the Hollower. A game
I'm surprised it even came out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first new IP in a while from Yacht Club Games. I mean, has there been anything that's not been Shovel Knight for the last 12 to 14 years?
Nope, everything has been Shovel Knight with them.
So that's
their studio started with Shovel Knight.
Yeah, so this is their first new thing, Knight. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before I get into Mina, can I just get a quick temp check from you? Where do you sit on Shovel Knight?
I enjoyed Shovel Knight. I played it as soon as it came out. I think on the 3DS, right? It was first on the 3DS.
Yep.
And had a great time with it. And I think I bought one of the editions. Maybe it was on Switch. I can't remember. I bought one of the editions that had a bunch of the DLC stuff on it, and I didn't play any of that stuff. I didn't play as any of the extra knights or anything like that. I tried playing the Dig game, Shovel Knight Dig.
It's like the Rogue one, right?
Yeah. And that was okay. It was not quite to my taste.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, and that's it. But
is there a match 3
like
one?
The original Shovel Knight.
Isn't there like a match 3? Okay.
Yeah, I think there is. I actually had an episode a long time ago. I'm sure it's lost to history now. But there was an episode of Gamers on the Go that I did on the original Shovel Knight with some people from Yacht Club. So
cool.
Yeah, that was a cool episode. Again, forever ago. So I have no idea where it is, but that was a neat time.
So yeah, I think I'm pretty similar to you. Like I was really kind of enamored by Shovel Knight and all that it was going for. I did get the DLCs. I played a little bit of them. I enjoyed Dig. I didn't play nearly as much of that as I did like proper or mainline Shovel Knight. But that kind of leads into one of the Steam Next Fest where we had been excited to see more from Yacht Club. They had demoed or showed off this game and we thought it looked cool. I walked away from that demo pretty underwhelmed, and I feel like you didn't love what you saw. Maybe that was just the way I was playing it or how I was reacting to it.
At the video game, so it's really hard to get a good sense of what
fair.
It was. No, but it did seem. I mean, you look at the video game and you go, "Oh, it's a Link's Awakening." Like it has a very similar art style to Link's Awakening and the Capcom made Legend of Zelda games on the Game Boy Color. It seems to have a lot of those kinds of mechanics and philosophies about it, and so that's interesting to me. I like those Zelda games, and so I was curious by it, but I know that when we played the demo on a Next Fest, you struggled a little bit with some of the mechanics. It seemed like it was a pretty difficult game in terms of like enemies and damage that they did and learning patterns. And so I think in combination of a lot of those things, I went, I don't know, it's probably fine. I like Shovel Knight, but it's probably not really a priority for me. And now that it's out, it sounds like people are really enjoying it. And it sounds like you've also changed your tune a little bit on
I have
the last time you played it.
Yeah. Thanks for teeing me up on that. I will tell you, I've been healed from my bad game mechanics. I think I've gotten somewhat decent at this, and I'll get into what specifically we were bumping into on it. But you nailed it with the Zelda motif, and when I was seeing this get traction from some of the people I trust in the industry, they were comparing it to two things: Zelda, like old school Zelda, and Bloodborne. And one of those is really exciting to me. The other one, not so much. But I will say I think Bloodborne aesthetically is probably the most interesting from Soft Game. I just think the setting for that one looks really cool, and I like what it's going for. But I was nervous because I don't love losing things upon death. That's not one of my favorite mechanics in a game. I don't.
And Shovel Knight had that too.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
It's a lot. It was a lot less punishing.
Correct.
In Shovel Knight.
Yeah, I don't love when I get into like a already challenging game and I'm carrying a currency that's going to help me reduce that challenge. It makes me feel like I can't really go after things as much as I'd like because I want to be more cautious. So all that being said, when I fired Mina back up, I was immediately just the presentation. So if you're not familiar, this looks like a Game Boy Color game in a lot of ways. And the music is fantastic, as you would expect from Yacht Club. The cutscenes are great. Just the overall writing seemed fun. The world felt so lived in. When Pixel can like give you depth, especially a 2D pixel-based game, and you have idle sprite movement, and you've got leaf sway, and you've got grass that bounces, there's just nothing better. Like, it looks so fucking good when you get this vista and all of this infrastructure and this gothic world that you're in as a Hollower. I was like, fuck, man, this thing looks really cool. It sounds good. The movement feels good.
It's so easy we've both said this at different times on the podcast. Like, oh, I'm a little tired of pixel art.
I know.
It's so easy to get tired of pixel art until you see it executed really well, and you go, "Oh, I've just been seeing kind of mid pixel art, but when it's done well, holy shit, this is so good."
And I want to call this out now because it ties into that aspect of it. I've played this. I've played it for like 5 hours at this point, I think, and 4.5 of those have been on my Thor. So I've played this pretty exclusively in handheld, on a device that I've been going to play games of that time period. And so it's really fucking fascinating. But that screen being OLED and just its brightness and its refresh rate, it's so damn good for playing this. Like, if you have an OLED handheld, this is awesome. I also saw somebody playing it on an old CRT, which looked really good also. And so the mechanic that you and I were running into is this is a Zelda-like game where you have, at the start of the game, you have to choose three different weapons. And what they don't really tell you is each one of those weapons is kind of like rooted in a difficulty for you. So the hammer is what I was going to go for because I just like hammers in video games. And this one looked like a revolver barrel, which was really cool. But I ended up going for a ball and chain. The other one was dual daggers. Dual daggers is probably the medium tier. I didn't know it, but I picked the easiest one because I thought having a little range in a game where you could take damage made sense to me. So it kind of shoots out like a yo-yo, and it's just this little spiked ball. When you get that, that's your only output. You have a jump, but if you keep holding jump, when you land, you burrow into the ground, and then you can move for a short period before you let go or come out, and you jump up. So what's really cool is if you're just jumping, you move one block, but if you burrow and then jump out, you go two. So you kind of dolphin through the game, which is a lot of fun and how you're doing that.
It's a Rock's cape versus a Rock's feather.
Yes, Rock's cape versus Rock's feather. You have your attack, you have your jump, and you have your burrow. These games you would expect to have a shield from Zelda, you would expect to have a parry from Bloodborne, and that's where I was getting tripped up when you and I were playing. But your first, what you have to learn to do is you just jump. Like, that is all you do. You attack and jump or burrow and then move around and do that. So once I understood pattern matching for attacks, which there's not a ton of that, but just sometimes it's a projectile. Sometimes they're going to jump and do like an area of effect. Once I learned I can burrow, I can jump, I can also kind of jump over with my yo-yo style attack. I can jump over a hole, and as the enemy is kited towards me, I've got a buffer and I can just attack over it. So I can kind of cheese around a little bit. This is also the time where you can really see what sucks about the gaming community when it comes to how people should play games. Here at this show, like, I think we like a challenge. We don't dismiss friction. We don't like things overly complicated, but you're not opposed to going after some achievements. You like to put yourself through a gauntlet sometimes if the juice is worth the squeeze in a game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like friction, but I don't like difficulty, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And yeah, I do like if I am going to challenge myself, I want it to be both optional and kind of achievement based in the way you mentioned, where, hey, do you want this kind of optional thing? Sure, go ahead. That's why I like something like the tapes that from from Celeste, where it's like, you don't have to go for these. Like, you do get a nice little bonus if you want to go for it, but like, it's fine. You could just play the game and be normal. Yeah. And that works perfectly fine too. So that is kind of where I am. In fact, I'm playing a difficult game that I'll be talking about that I'm, struggling to enjoy as much as I want to.
I get it. Well, I ran into that. So I was doing pretty good. I was definitely getting my ass handed to me a little bit in the game on just like, it's hard. Like there are some things that are hard in it. And I got to, so there's 6 sparks that you're having to bring back to life. And I got into the first area where I knew if I clear this boss, I'm gonna light my first spark. So it's really the first kind of big skill check for me at this point. And it was a 2-phase boss, and I could get the boss down to just a sliver on that second phase every time, but I was really just struggling. And I kind of went into the menus. I'm like, is there even a difficulty setting for this? Like, what am I playing on? And they've got a whole section about modifications to the game. And you can go into it, and they've even got them broken down into themes. Like there's one that says harder. There's one that says easier. There's accessibility stuff. So if you go into easier, dude, they let you tweak this game however you fucking want. You can take less damage. You can just take no damage at all. If you just want to explore this world and go into it and kind of make your way through it, you can make bosses just a teeny bit easier, like to where they do less damage and they take more damage on every main boss. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to lose if I do this. Like, is it achievements? And they have their own in-game thing called feats. So if you modify the game at all, you no longer unlock feats. I'm not a big achievement hunter when it comes to this stuff. I would much rather do what I'm doing, which is telling you how this game made me feel when I'm playing it.
Yeah.
And once I dialed this thing in, I'm having so much fun with it. You mentioned Celeste. It's very similar to what they did in that game where what do you want from it? Like, we just want you to play our game. Like, how do you want to approach it? And there's some people out there that'll be like, you're not playing the game if you're not playing it how they ship it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll play a game on story mode, on easy mode.
Totally. Because similar to what you're saying there, I would rather be able to finish a game and have the experience of finishing a game and be able to roll around the entirety of the game in my head.
Yes.
Than I would to go, level 4 was too hard, so I just had to put it to the side.
Right.
And then never touch it again.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I know it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do because it's a difficult thing. I'm sure it's a difficult thing to program and make the game feel balanced in different ways to be able to play it in all these various ways. I'm sure it's difficult from if you're going to tell somebody how to, if you're going to have like game facts and kind of things like that, of, what you should do or how you should approach something, but you've gamed the system in some way by changing the modifiers, that makes things a little bit more difficult. I understand why you wouldn't do this. I'm not faulting some developers for not having these kinds of choices in their game. And there is also just I think a strong thing of like, we want a video game experience that is like this and that author intent. And if you don't vibe with the author intent, fine, that game's not for you. But I do really appreciate when a developer goes, we want people to enjoy our game. We want people to experience our game. And so we're going to give them the tools to let them have the best experience for them.
And I want to talk more about this game. It's still really fresh. There's some really cool puzzle stuff. I want to give a little space for people to kind of stumble into it themselves, and then I'll spoil a little bit. But I think this is one of the more impressive things I've seen like in the genre for a while. There's a lot of copycats out there. Yacht Club continues to just fucking nail a period and a feel. Like, they just know what they're doing over there. So I love that this came around for me. I don't know if it would be something that you would enjoy playing, knowing that you like Shovel Knight.
Possible,
maybe.
The problem is if I was going to play one of those games, I feel like I would just go back and play one of those Game Boy Color Zeldas again.
Yeah, I hear you.
Some of those either, so it's tough. And also, if I was going to play a Zelda again, I should probably just go play Link to the Past, like I really should be doing. So it is tough. How much time do you think you have into this so far?
I'm like just at 5 hours.
Okay, and you have one of those 6 sparks done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So
and I think I've died like 46 times. I've died, I think.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like a good length of video game. I mean, good as in maybe to me, honestly, too long, possibly. Yeah. I really liked Shovel Knight for its very short length. It was something that you could finish over a weekend and have a good time with, and go back through a number of times if you wanted to. So I that also turns me off a little bit. I'm like, hey, it'd be fun to have a game that was like 20 hours in that style.
This says a standard playthrough takes most players about 20 to 30 hours. Okay. You can critical path it 16 to 20, but I think completionist is 32 to 40 hours. And then there's a new game plus that would be like 100 hours. So
and that's wild. I can't imagine putting that much time into a game like this. But I don't know. 20 to 30 is probably okay.
Yeah. I'm having a great time. I'll probably stream at some point with us, but I do think it's one that I'll be talking about. Like especially playing this on my Thor. Like it's just been what I've been playing when I'm like down chilling and hanging out. So it works on offline too. That's the other cool thing. Load it up, play it offline. You can have this thing at the lake or wherever you're at and be good to go.
That is true.
Are you enjoying your Thor?
I too have been playing video games on my Thor.
Hell yeah.
And part of it was the particular video game I was playing, and part of it was RetroArch, which continues to be my RetroArch enemy. But I've been playing a Fire Emblem ROM hack. Stop me if you've heard this before. I'm playing Fire Emblem Life of Seiros, which I saw on a YouTube video, and somebody was talking about it, and I went, "Oh, do I have that? I probably have that, right?" And I looked through, and I went, "Wait, I don't have that one. Okay, let me grab that. It sounds fun." And so I'm playing it through now. I think it's 23 chapters.
What's the name of this one again?
Fire Emblem Life of Seiros. And if Seiros sounds familiar to you, that's because that is one of the characters from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Not really a spoiler, but Seiros and Rhea. If you remember Rhea, the head of the church of Garrick Monastery, those are the same character. So this is a GBA style, because it's a ROM hack of Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, but it is a prequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I found to be really exciting, knowing that Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which is supposed to be taking place 100,000 years, like a long time after Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I thought that would be both like a nice thing for me to jump in and remember things about Fodland and Three Houses, and also kind of get me ready for Fortune's Weave when that comes out. It's a neat hack. It's a neat hack.
I'm looking at it. It looks pretty cool.
I mean, it's generally a pretty straightforward Fire Emblem hack. It is just, hey, what if we made some new maps and new characters, and there are some things that I've noticed on the patch that I'm on where it has some glitches. You can see Ephraim, who is one of the people from Sacred Stones. And you're like, you're not supposed to be there. That glitched out. Some of the dialogue hasn't been changed in some of the support conversations, but mostly this is a pretty solid game. You play as Rhea, Seiros, and it takes place thousands of years, like 1,000 years, thousands of years before the actual events of Fire Emblem Three Houses. You see Nemesis, who is the big bad guy in Three Houses. You see him kill all of the dragons, like all of the people who were like Rhea and Flane and Seteth, and Sophis, who's the green haired girl that like goes into Byleth, the god of that game. Yeah. She sends Seiros forward in time and goes, "Hey, I'm going to help you stop Nemesis because he's murdering all of us right now. So I'm going to send you forward in time, and we'll see if you can deal with it." And this is kind of just like really time-intensive fanfic, because somebody had to build an entire video game and tell a story that hasn't been told. You know, Intelligent Systems didn't write this story. They're having to pick little things from Fire Emblem Three Houses that they can pull from and expand on. But the idea here is that you're playing as Rhea, who meets an ancestor of Edelgard named Wilhelm, and so the two of you are the two lords of the game. And what's really interesting is in the dialogue and the story stuff, because Rhea ends up calling herself Seiros to not give her real name, to kind of start to make this fake story up about the goddess, the mother, which is Sothis, but because they're 100 years in the future where she's been sent to, and Nemesis is still the king, and he's always been the king, that she's manipulating people. Like there is a very clear, there's new text boxes where there will be a black text box and you go, oh, this is her thoughts. Like this is just what she's thinking.
Got it.
Versus what she's saying to other people. And there is a lot of her just lying to people so they can, you know, start this new Church of Seiros. The Garreg Monastery is eventually going to show up, and this idea that this legend is being told because she's pulling the wool over the humans' eyes to have them help her defeat Nemesis, who, you know, killed all of the ancient ones, all the dragons that she was a part of. So that's really interesting. You know, most Fire Emblem games have characters who are super goody two shoes. So to have a lord that is actively lying to people and is, you know, a bit of an antagonist, even though they're doing it for the right reasons, is pretty fascinating from a story perspective.
Is the combat changed at all? Or is the combat just like different skins and shit?
Yes and no. So it is mostly just Fire Emblem Sacred Stones or the GBA style games. A lot of those classes are the same. There are some new sprites that are put in, especially for enemies. There are some new enemy types that show up in the game. Most of the hero units that you're using, though, are pretty similar. They did add in the brawler. So if you remember the people who use knuckle weapons in Three Houses, they added those in as a fighter type. So that is kind of one of the new classes you can play along with. And then they also put in kind of the crest system. So the crest system also in Three Houses, where, you know, the house leaders or people with specific kinds of blood would have the crests, and the crests would give them extra little skills in different combat scenarios. And so they've found ways of bringing the crests in for this game and using them as personal skills for different units. And that's been kind of cool too. And it seems like people will gain crests as the game goes on, and you kind of get the story of what the crests mean and how that works. I just finished a chapter that was kind of explaining how somebody would get a crest and why that's good for them and maybe bad for everyone else.
Sure.
So there's some interesting story stuff in there, even though it's, you know, none of it's really canon, but it is kind of fun.
Permadeath?
Yes, there is permadeath. There is a hard option or a normal option, even though on Sacred Stone, it's using the Sacred Stone's menu and there's an easy option and you just can't select it.
Oh.
It's like, I can't, So yes, it does have permadeath.
Okay.
And the game is, I would say, genuinely difficult. I'm playing this on normal, and it is really testing my abilities, both in terms of the strategic stuff, but also the weapon management. You know, we're dealing with weapons with durability in this game, and the durability is pretty low on all the weapons, and you're having to make some real choices, and it's you know, you can't just buy as many weapons as you need. You also have to worry about money to do that. So there are some pretty tough balancing things in there, and that has led to me, you know, using a lot of save states on the Thor, and then also using the rewind function that's part of RetroArch. And I've been struggling with both of those things because they aren't quite to my taste. Like if I was playing this on my Analog Pocket, I just think the way that the FPGA stuff works on the Analog Pocket is a little bit more the way I prefer save states to work on that kind of system. So I've tried adjusting some things in RetroArch, and I've mostly gotten it to where I want it to be. But it is still just a difficult game. and there's a lot of stuff that feels not cheap exactly, but in the GBA Fire Emblem games, if you have a hit rate that is like above 65, like probably closer to 70 and up, the game artificially kind of juices the dice where you're mostly going to hit. Like they'll tell you 70 and it's more like 85.
Yeah.
And if you're under, let's say like 50, then there's even less chance. Like the dice are juiced the other way.
Yeah.
So you can usually use that to your advantage because there's the weapon triangle, and so enemies are usually coming at you with the wrong weapon, and so enemies generally should miss you more often. And I don't know if the developer of this hack has gone back and unjuiced the numbers or something, but I feel like I am getting hit way more often than I would normally get hit in Fire Emblem GBA games. And so that is also leading to some extra difficulty of thinking, oh, I'm in a forest, I'm using the right weapon type, like I should be fine. I'm so defensively tanky here, and then somebody just comes in and goes, nope, I'm going to do 20 damage to you and you're dead. And I go, fuck. Or the crits seem to hit more often from enemies than I'm used to, and that has led to a lot of restarting chapters or hitting save states, and that has also been frustrating. That is not exactly the way I like my Fire Emblems. I do kind of just wish that permadeath wasn't in the game. I think I'd be having a whole lot more fun. But I understand that a lot of Fire Emblem fans, a lot of old school Fire Emblem fans, really appreciate that. So if you do like that more old school style Fire Emblem, I think this game is really good in terms of just telling a good story. It has some good characters that branch into classes in the same way the Sacred Stones do. The skills I think are pretty solid, and the map design has also been pretty good. There are quite a few ambush spawns. If you're familiar with Fire Emblem, you have the map and you know all the enemies that are on there, and then sometimes enemies will just spawn from other places. And the better Fire Emblem games will find ways of telling you and warning you that, hey, it seems like an opposing army or some reinforcements are coming from the north. And then 2 turns later, you see some reinforcements and go, oh, yeah, sure, they told me that. And this game goes, no, we're just going to throw some extra enemies, on the side, every few turns. And you go, fuck, I wasn't prepared for any of this shit. That's pretty rough. So there's some good parts and some bad parts. Again, I'm like in chapter 10, and I think there's 20 something chapters, maybe 23. So I'm going to keep on playing this and struggling through it. But so far, I'd say overall I'm having a good time, especially for that story. I think that story is really interesting.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the Thor. I know that you and I are going to get a few of the kinks ironed out on that thing here soon for you. And
yeah, I need to play Wonder Swan games, Bobby. Help me.
I will help you. Daddy's home. But I might even check that out eventually. I got a lot of other shit I'm juggling on the Thor right now, clearly, but I thought that looked cool. What you showed me, I thought that was neat looking.
I mean, there's a billion Fire Emblem ROM hacks, and this one just jumped the line because it telling a story with 3 houses, knowing that a new 3 houses style game is coming out. It just kind of was hit at the perfect time. So I still want to play a bunch of the other ones. There's one called A Hag in White that sounds really interesting. There's Last Promise. There's so many good Fire Emblem games out there, hacks that I need to try. Plus, I actually need to still play some old Fire Emblem games that I've never played.
Totally.
So there's a lot of stuff out there for me.
Well, you'll understand why I'm a little underwater here in a moment, Chase.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
You want to transition us over?
In one game and figuratively in lots of other games. Yeah, let's get into the monthly preview, and to start with that, we have to talk about the last month and what happened there. See if Bobby's head is above water, which apparently it is not. Bobby, you had a number of games for May that are on your list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games.
Yep.
Usually we try to cap it at around 3, and Bobby said, no, thank you. I won all these video games. I had one. And,
you had one.
And I didn't play that game either. So I'll mention that Nitro Gen Omega was my pick for last month. I did see some reviews of it. It sounds really good. Like, it's been getting some really good reviews. And
nice.
I think that's a game I will want to play, but it's also a game that I think I am happy to wait for a sale for before I jump in. But I'm still pretty excited about that one. The one thing I noticed about that bummed me out a little bit that I didn't realize is that it's only one mech. Your team kind of megazords it and has multiple people inside of one mech, or Pacific Rims it, I guess. Yeah. And I thought they were going to be multiple mechs, but I guess it makes more sense for the video game because it's these one-on-one mech fights with you and the enemy, or kaiju fights rather.
Sure.
So I guess that makes a little bit more sense, but I was hoping there'd be a little bit more strategy in using different kinds of mechs, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway, still sounds like it's a really good game, and I would like to try it someday. Now, Bobby, you had a lot here. What do you want to start with?
I'll be brief here. 007 First Light, played really good. Waxhead, played the least, seems really cool. Forza Horizon 6, maybe I've played that more than 007 now that I'm looking at this. I think I have.
Probably hours-wise, yeah.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. I did not play Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. It came out to some mild climate, but it's also just really... I don't have people to play it with. That's what it comes down to. Enter the Chronosphere. I think that's really cool. We played that on Monday for a little bit too. Subnautica 2. I love that. You got to see that in action with me. Alabaster Dawn, that's the Crosscodes Studios next game. It's really slick also. And Motor Slice, also very cool. I've played all of these except for Deep Rock. And I'm tired.
Did you finish First Light?
No, I don't know if I have like one or two more, maybe 3 missions. I'm not quite sure, but I'm at what I think is so far is one of the coolest set pieces, and I don't want to spoil that, but I'm thoroughly enjoying that thing.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man.
All right, we are skipping the wheel this month. It was Grim Fandango that showed up for me last month, and I've mentioned on the podcast a couple times now, but I was going to play that on Memorial Day weekend and then didn't have it downloaded on the Switch, and that was my best chunk of time to do that.
Sure.
So I will now find some time to play that in June because I'm really excited to play some Grim Fandango.
Go see Vinny.
Yeah, I just wanted to have the perfect setup for it. So we'll skip right over to the free stuff, and we'll talk about PlayStation Plus, where we're getting a few video games here. And in fact, some video games are sticking around. I think EA Sports Football Club 20-something, 25, 26, who knows? That one's sticking around from last month until the 15th. I think there's another game that's also sticking around till the 15th of June. So not all those games from last month are going away immediately, but we are adding 3 to the list. We'll start with Grounded Fully Yoked Edition, which is
one of the best
PS5
ever,
and PS4. What do you know what the Fully Yoked Edition is? Does it just
that's just like
DLC?
Yeah, all the stuff they put out, because I think that most of that game was played in pieces over its early access period, but then they added in some other shit there with it. So that's a good one to get. And I think that has crossplay with other people on PC and Xbox. So grab it. It has cross save too.
What's yoke with? Oh, the yoke is like a Oregon Trail oxen yoke, not a middle of an egg yolk.
Yeah.
Okay. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 is also on PS5 and PS4 this month. That is a Smash Brothers style game with Nickelodeon characters. I think the first one I remember hearing was
people liked
well
it.
received. Yeah.
You can be Patrick Star and beat somebody up.
What else could you ask for? I mean, Nintendo's doesn't seem to be making another Smash Brothers anytime soon.
Let that man rest.
Finally rested. Yes.
Let that man rest.
So I'm perfectly fine trying out some of these other ones instead of playing another Smash Brothers right now. And the last game is Warhammer 40K Dark Tide, which is PS5 only. But
it's a cool game.
Played this one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool. It's kind of like another squad based one. So you want to have a few friends to play with on that. I think there might be matchmaking though.
And this is a sequel, right? Because there was a old Warhammer one, not 40K. That was, what was that called? Was that also called Dark Tide? Just not 40K, or?
There's so many of these I can't keep up with them.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, that's everything from PlayStation Plus Essential, which means now we can move on to talking about the monthly releases.
Let's do it.
Start on the 1st. This game is already out, Bobby. Or sorry, this one is not. This specifically, this first one is coming out sometime in the month of June. Jeez,
June.
That's the month. Yeah. But we don't have a good way of showing that on our.
Maybe this will be a stealth drop from one of the shows coming up.
Could be. But it's Deer and Boy, which is coming to PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series X. I mean, it looks a little bit like Inside. It looks a little bit like Neva, maybe, in the way that you're playing with this boy.
I see you're getting there.
This deer that they help to solve puzzles with each other. So I think this looks really nice.
It does. This looks really pretty.
It's got a really good look to it overall.
I hope nothing happens to that deer.
Yeah. Also trying to lengthen. There we go. Now I can read these things a little better. Let's move on to the second. This game is out right now, which is Fate Keeper, which is on PC. This is a Skyrim-like video game.
Yeah. People are kind of buzzing about this one.
Well, they've got time. I mean, Elder Scrolls 6 is never coming out to my knowledge, so they might as well have
the stuff I'm seeing, though, is like I think this thing has some pretty wild physics in it from what people are talking about. I have the ability to play this. My cousin picked it up. He's a slut for these types of games. Apparently, it looks and runs really well. I just don't know how much I want to dig into one of these right now. I'd like a good one of these. Sure. I just don't know if it's like top of my list of things right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It did seem like it had a couple of cool ideas to it, and it does look nice. It looks polished.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, this is... I barely like playing the Elder Scrolls games, and to play an Elder Scrolls game made by somebody else, I guess that does sound better when you say it like that.
What if Obsidian made it?
Yeah, what was the Obsidian one that was first person?
Yeah. Avowed,
that's right.
I liked Avowed.
Yeah, well, maybe when I can play Xbox games again, I will try that, but can't do it right now.
I hear it looks really good on the PlayStation.
Yeah. On the 4th, that's tomorrow, or today in a couple hours. Donkey Kong 64 is coming to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 as part of the Nintendo Switch Online service. We don't have a ton of N64 games on that service yet, so this is kind of a big deal. I don't know. I've never given a fuck about Donkey Kong 64, and I will not start now.
I think I enjoyed it to a degree back then, but looking at this, like, damn, this thing looks rough.
I mean, these kind of collectathon video games, I've just never been a fan of. I've never played Banjo-Kazooie or Tooie or any of those games.
Okay.
And so the idea, we talked on Monday. I'm already tired of open worlds. I've talked about how tired I am of open worlds. And while this game is not an open world, it has all the same bullshit I don't like about open worlds. And so I couldn't possibly give a shit about Donkey Kong 64.
That's fair.
But some people do, and now it'll be available to them on the Nintendo Switch Online service. So that's good, I suppose. Also on the 4th, River City Saga Journey to the West is coming to PC, Switch, and PS5. I've been enjoying the new direction for these River City games. We had you've got River City Girls that is kind of doing, hey, here's a modern take on River City Ransom style games, and I think that's a cool way to go. I've enjoyed playing some of those games. I like the art style that they're going with in that more modern direction. But then they've also found some interesting stuff from this kind of more classic style River City Ransom, Kunio-kun kind of thing with these Saga games. So the first one or the first two, I think, actually. They made 2 Romance of the Three Kingdoms one, which I'm interested in. But these play as a little bit more like roguelikes. And,
this is the same people that made the new Scott Pilgrim, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Okay, that would make some sense, I suppose. But this one is telling a different story, a different old story, Journey to the West. So if you've seen anything with that, I mean, it's what's the game that you like that was also Journey to the West, where you're playing as a Son Goku or
you're the monkey in it, right?
Yeah, you're the monkey guy. It's the game that everyone loves.
Woo something.
Woo Kong. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. I'm not trying to be reductive here, but there's a lot of these. Like, I think there's 4 of these at the State of Play.
Black Myth Woo Kong. That's the one.
I got a little bit of it.
Yeah, that was a Game of the Year nominee for the.
It was good.
Yeah, people liked it. Anyway, so those are all based on Journey to the West. There are plenty of other Journey to the West video games, anime, everything. Dragon Ball Z is based on Journey to the West. Well, Dragon Ball is based on Journey to the West, and then Dragon Ball Z said we're kind of our own thing now. Anyway, cool that River City is dealing with both of these things, like going in both of these directions. I like that. That's an interesting thing for a classic franchise to do, and I think we would be benefited by a lot of other classic franchises trying to find new ways of getting their games in front of people like this one is.
Totally.
Anyway, on the 9th, let's talk about NBA The Run coming to PC.
They finally listened to you.
Series
they
X.
did the thing.
They didn't. They almost did. They listened to half of what I asked for. This looks like NBA Street.
Yeah.
This sounds like NBA Street. They got Babito Garcia. Slice back in the booth to do the commentary. Like,
okay, I'm failing to see a problem here.
Well, it's online only, Bobby. It's multiplayer only. There's no campaign. There's no single player.
There's nothing for this?
Nope. Online tournaments only. That's what it is.
Damn.
Yeah. It's fucked up. It's like they made a game that looks like NBA Street, sounds like NBA Street, basically is NBA Street in everything but name. And no. It even does the thing where it's like, hey, we have NBA players in here, and the NBA players, have certain skills, but also we've added our own custom characters in here as well that will help to anchor your team. Fuck, this is exactly what I want, except they're all knockout.
This could have been a game of the year for Chase.
I'm so angry. I'm so fucking angry.
God.
What a waste.
What a waste.
Waste. I hope this game does well.
So
they make a real one.
What's he say in Better Call Saul? What a waste. He gets so mad at Jimmy, his brother. He's like, what a waste.
That sounds like a thing Chuck McGill would say.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from that disappointment, let's talk about another game coming out of the 9th, which is Voidling Bound, which is coming to the PC. What is this, Bobby? I mean, it's a little bit monster collecting, a little bit monster training, but you're also kind of like going into the creatures to do these roguelike runs. So
this is pretty cool. I played a Steam Next Fest of this, and people were pretty into what it was going for. So you were spot on. You are picking a starter. You are then sending the starter out into the planet where you can collect other critters. I don't know what they call them in this. This is Quipek. That's but not the actual.
They're called Voidlings. If it's called
Voidlings. So you're going onto the planet as the Voidling, and you are loading up a Voidling that has certain characteristics, features, etc. That you can start to choose like an evolution path that it will go down. It reminds me a bit of Digimon in that sense, from what I played, like how you can kind of see where these might open up. Sure. But it's like a resourcing deal where you are on a ship and you're sending them down to do your bidding on that planet. Mechanically, it felt really good. I didn't get super deep into the mechanics as it was a demo, but what I saw looked pretty promising to the point where I think I might explore more of it. Like I like a creature collector quite a bit, and I thought this was doing some pretty cool stuff.
Well, and then the stuff they're collecting as you play the different runs, you're bringing back to the ship or the planet or whatever. And then that seems very Bobby coded in, hey, now you get to tinker and rebuild a bunch of stuff and make new shit to help you on your runs and strengthen your monsters as they go down.
You can see here, I'll rewind it a little bit. It doesn't play like a turn-based creature collector traditionally would. Right. Like it plays a lot more like a Housemarque game. Like it's kind of
this is like an action RPG.
Yeah, like there's some bullet helly stuff you got to get through. There's also some melee encounters, but there will be shit coming your way, and you have reach and stuff like it. It's neat. It's a cool thing. It reminded me a little bit of a Journey to the Savage Planet on the way that some of the stuff looked. Sure. But I did enjoy it quite a bit from that little slice I got to see.
Yeah, so it's got an interesting feel to it.
Yeah.
Also on the 9th, we're not going to show a trailer of this one, but Destiny 2, the final update comes out. We covered this one before. Not much to say. PC, PS4,
we're going to play
PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. We have said we're going to play it.
We're going to play it.
And we will do that. I don't know when exactly we're going to play it. I don't know if we need to play it right when it comes out, but
well, before we stream it, we're going to need to play it offline to get our fucking bearings.
True. That's about us. And to like get all the updates.
Yeah, yeah.
blow the dust off of.
Finish the fight.
Yeah, neither of us ever finished that fight. In the final shape. Moving on to the 11th, Star Seeker Astroneer Expeditions comes to PC, Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X. So like you heard in the subtitle there, this is an Astroneer video game, and it seems like they made a bigger Astroneer. Because they're making one. This is an early access.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I think we have talked about playing Astroneer together a handful of times. I have not gone as deep into Astroneer as I'd like to have, but the depth that I got with it was really fucking cool. Astroneer was neat, and the story behind Astroneer I thought was even more fascinating on how that thing came to be. I think there's an actual pretty impressive no-clip documentary on that process that you can check out. But this I would love to see. I will be checking this out for sure. I don't know if it'll be as good as the original, but I want to see what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, the two complaints, if I can even live complaints, and again, this game is an early access. There's time for them to do whatever they want to it, and maybe they've made choices based on what people thought about Astroneer. But one, this feels way too big for me. Like I don't need a game that has this much stuff in it. And two, one of the things I really liked about Astroneer, and this goes back to this idea of friction versus difficulty. I liked that you had to place the
oxygen
posts. Yep. Yeah, the oxygen posts that you always have to stay tethered.
Yep.
And nobody's tethered here. I can tell that. So it seems like they've, softened the edges of some of this to have bigger, more bombastic, sillier gameplay, which again, I'm sure a ton of people want out of their Astroneer, and for a lot of people, I bet Astroneer felt slow.
I mean, this might not be what I want. Like it does. This looks a lot. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like this other game because I did, but this looks like both Journey and Revenge of the Savage Planet more than Astroneer.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I mean, we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
We see very little in this trailer overall, and again, it's in early access, so there's plenty of time for this game to mature and continue to do other things. But I mean, hey, we've certainly seen games like this that take a more party atmosphere to what they're doing. We played the mountain climbing game and all of those other ones that don't have to worry about tethers and shit like that. But Astroneer, one of the things I really appreciated about it was that tethering system.
Yeah.
So it's felt a little bad to not see it here. Anyway, but it's still probably pretty fun. On the 17th, Densha Attack is coming to PC, Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox Series X. We played this on a Next Fest, if I remember correctly. And I seem to remember that we also had a pretty good time with this.
Yeah, it's cool. It's hard. Well, I think that it just has a pretty steep ramp up to like probably easy to pick up, difficult to master.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fast game, as you're seeing from the trailer here. It's a very Twitch-based thing. Like it has some Tony Hawk mechanics to it, but it's pretty on rails in that way. Where I mean, literally on rails. You're a train. You're a train that is going on different tracks. If you played any of those Sonic the Hedgehog levels where you're playing as Sonic or Shadow, that's all grinding on these rails. This seems like a game that is basically just that, but that's the whole video game. And it seems wild. I can appreciate how fucking wild this whole game looks and that's very exciting to me. But yeah, it does seem like it's probably a game that is about challenge, about repeating things, about memorizing things that are happening in the game as well. But I like all these different environments.
I could see you taking to this like you did Neon White.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it actually turns out nicely. But so far, I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
A couple more here. We've got on the 18th, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, coming to PC, Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox Series X. We both played the demo of this. This is one of those rare games where I played it and then said, Bobby, I think you need to play it, which is, it felt wrong when I said it, because usually that goes in reverse. But yeah, this is that HD 2D classic Zelda style game that Square Enix is making. And it's interesting. We both ended up liking that demo, right? Did you enjoy it?
So I haven't talked about it on here, but I'm playing the prologue right now and having a very they put out the prologue that has carryover for this release. And so I've been playing this and I am enjoying this one a lot. I mean, it's Zelda. Like
it's Zelda. It's also a little Chrono Trigger in that there are 3 different time periods that you're going to be bouncing between and or bouncing among, and how those different things change the other places. Go grab something in the past and bring it to the future, or vice versa. And that's interesting. If I can make a small complaint, I don't like the red mage hat. I've never liked the red mage hat.
I don't love the fairy. Let's just call it a fairy.
The Navi equivalent.
This one's really it chirps a lot about where you should be going and what you should be doing, and I don't, because I like to take these games in. I like to walk around. I like to break all the barrels. I like to do that stuff here, and I don't need you reminding me that I should be, advancing the story on this. But
hey, listen.
I will tell you, I've gotten some of the other weapons that I didn't have in the demo that are really exciting, and I think that the way that the more that you kill in this game, the better your drops are. So you get a combo going. And that's really cool. It's just neat too that I haven't seen a game like this that's not entirely turn-based, I don't think. I like this art style being a bit more action input, and the set pieces so far have been really cool. The writing's okay. The story hasn't gripped me like a Chrono Trigger did, or certainly a Zelda, but it's early. It's a prologue, so I'm sure there'll be some twist.
Yeah, I'm in a weird spot with this one where part of me thinks if I don't pick this game up, I'll be just fine, and I'll live my life, and I won't regret this. But the other part of me thinks that if I do end up picking this game up, or if I see one more thing that tips me over the edge to where I go, oh, I should play this game, that this would be something I would really love and probably end up be talking about game of the year time.
Yeah.
So I am really on the fence of whether I'm going to get this one or not. I don't think it's going to be a bad game by any means. It's just, do I want to spend the precious time I do have playing video games on this one? Maybe, because I liked that demo. I could see playing this.
Right now, I'm trying to clear my plate before this thing's out. That's what I'm working towards right now. And we're going to be away that weekend. We're going to do a little cabin trip, and I'm thinking that I might bring one of my handhelds with me with this loaded up on it and see what I can do. And I'm
like a good time to just make sure that it's downloaded before you leave.
By the way, I think this is a perfect game for the Switch. I bet this would be fantastic on the Switch. So.
Yeah, I played the demo on the Switch too, and it played very nicely. So no qualms there. And we'll jump from the 18th to the 25th, where our last video game worth talking about is Star Fox, which is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2.
264 games in 1 month. Who are we?
Yeah, we've discussed this before. I don't know how much we need to really go into it any deeper, but it's cool that Nintendo remembered about Star Fox. I'm glad they remembered Star Fox exists. I still don't really understand why this game is necessary. We have a very good game. It's called Star Fox 64. People should go and play it. We even have a remake of it, Star Fox 64 3D. It's also very good. People should go play it. except the voices aren't quite as good as they are in the original 64 version. I want a new Star Fox.
I do too.
Just make a new Star Fox, but fine. It's fine.
I'm having a good time. Like, the more I've sat with this thing, because we both saw it pretty early. Like, I think we talked about it like almost day and date that it came out. Actually, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I think this looks pretty cool, and I saw somebody kind of point out, and I didn't really put two and two together, that while they're all very similar, most Star Fox games has a slightly different art style than the last one. Sure. When it comes to how they've like portrayed the characters and stuff. I love Star Fox 64. I think that was a really, really cool game. I have not played it really since those days. So I played a little bit of
it only takes you an hour.
I know. And I actually have a really good looking version on the Thor with a texture pack on the 3D one. It looks and plays great, but I'm going to absolutely check this out. I will probably, if we do it right, we can play it on a Monday night and beat it. That would be a cool thing to do. So I will.
Well, I don't know if you can beat this in an hour, because I know they're putting in all this extra bonus stuff from cutscenes, and I bet there's some mission selection stuff and other things that probably make this not as quick.
We should have Jiggy on.
Sure, I'd be perfectly fine with that. My real problem with this, my biggest problem with anything, it's not the art style, which I'm not the hugest fan of. But like, that's fine. I don't care. I could also kind of get on board that, hey, at least they're remaking one of the good video games, and maybe people will like it and buy it, and then we'll get even more of it. So I think that part's not even a big deal to me. The biggest deal to me is that this is going to be a full fucking priced video game. And I know it's Star Fox 64. It takes you an hour.
This one's not the full price for Nintendo.
How much is this video game?
$50.
$50 is still too much.
Nintendo's the only ones out with an $80 video game, Chase. Like, this is $30 less than Mario Kart World.
I still don't like it.
I'm not celebrating $50. Please understand when I say that. But I do just want to point out, I don't believe that this is a full price game by Nintendo's rules.
All right. Not full price.
But it's a lot of money for
a game that you can play for free on your Thor, or that you could play for essentially free on Nintendo Switch Online already. Star Fox 64 is there. You can just play it.
So this was the 25th, right?
That's the 25th. Yep.
We'll play that the Monday after it comes out. I'll show it off to you on stream.
All right. Sounds fine. Let's get our picks out of the way and then call it a day. How does that sound, Bobby?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
What are your picks?
My picks, not as much as I normally do, but I got Star Fox, The Adventures of Elliot. I got the Astroneer Expeditions, and I've got Voidling Bound. I will tell you, those last two, Starseeker and Voidling, if they get bad reviews coming out of the gate, I'll probably hold off on picking those up. But Star Fox and Adventures of Elliot are locks for sure for the month.
For me, Deer and Boy is up there. I think if that does show up this month, and I hope it does actually come out, those are short experiences that I've enjoyed before, playing Inside, playing Neva, playing Grease. There's a lot of that stuff. So
it's a great style.
This seems up my alley, and I would like to give that a shot. I also have The Adventures of Elliot. Just, again, I'm on that fence. I think it's totally possible I play this and have a fantastic time, but I could just as easily not play it at all and be perfectly fine. And then my last one, Densha Attack. I think that could be really cool too, and probably a nice palate cleanser of a video game, like something I play on the side when I'm playing other longer video games. So it's nice to have one of those in your back pocket as well. So those are my 3 picks. Those are Robbie's 4 picks. We'll be back next month to tell you about the games of July, but we have plenty of other stuff to talk about. In the meantime, like all that Summer Games Fest stuff. Sounds like we're coming back next Tuesday to tell you about all those things.
And you had mentioned too that there could be some other stuff that drops throughout June that we might pick up. But
absolutely.
If you are into what we're doing here, I realize I did not update the graphics, so I apologize. But we had kind of a hodgepodge thing on Monday night where we did check out Enter the Chronosphere, and we also checked out Lego Batman: The Dark Knight Tales, or whatever it's called. But had a great time on Monday night with those. And then this was our big calm before the storm. So as Chase mentioned, we've got Summer Games Fest going on. We're going to be back Tuesday night next week to recap the Summer Game Festival. And then I believe we just have a What You've Been Playing planned for our podcast next week. So
yeah, I mean, I bet there will be even more Fallout stuff from, like, not Fallout the video game, Fallout from the show that we'll probably talk about on Wednesday as well.
Totally.
Well, we'll see.
Totally. So we've got that planned for you next week. You can follow along with all of our stuff right here from the link in chat. And then if you want to follow along with all of the cool things Chase is doing. Oh, not Chasey.
Also, I mean, I don't want to. I don't really want to like talk about all of our plans while we're still doing the show. But if it's your wife's birthday, we could just skip Tuesday and use Wednesday as the time to talk about all the stuff from Summer Games Fest.
Let's do that then.
We can just do that because I also don't want to talk about all the Summer Games Fest stuff on something that's not a podcast episode.
Yeah.
Because that feels like that's important enough that we should talk about
we are also celebrating 10 years as a podcast.
It's true.
So that'll be
wild times.
That will be roughly, I mean, I think that's this 10th.
I think that's probably the date.
Yeah.
Now we'll probably do something special around
Jeff Keighley's
around
not
that.
special.
Nah, not really.
Jeff Keighley's not worth.
But yeah, we'll figure out something to do to celebrate that. But in the meantime, I think that makes a whole lot of sense. Just
cool. Let's just do that.
Save Summer Games Fest to talk about on the next podcast.
All right. I'm down for that.
That'll be a good time. So we'll do that.
Nice.
As for me, I've got a couple other things that I do. I've got another podcast that I do with our good friend of the show, Pierce Courchain. It's called Pilot Program, where Pierce and I watch the first episodes of every television show ever made. There's a new episode out today, right now.
You can watch it now.
You listen to it. You can.
Oh, that's right.
You can look at your computer screen while listening to it, I guess. But that's kind of like watching.
Yeah.
It's on He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the 1983 cartoon show. It's bad. The show is bad.
Does Pierce agree?
The podcast was good, but the show was bad. Will the show be better than the movie that's coming out in a couple days? Whew, that might be tough to say. Who knows?
Did Pierce dislike it?
Oh yeah, we neither of us liked that show.
All right, there you go.
But we had a pretty fun time talking about the cheapness of it, some of the production stuff. Did you know He-Man was the reason we have He-Man is because of Star Wars?
No.
Yeah. The head of Mattel declined to make a Star Wars toy line, and then when Kenner made a Star Wars toy line and it went huge, he went, damn it, we need our own Sword and Planet style thing. And so they were looking for the next thing, and they came upon these He-Man toys. That was one of the Mattel people. So it was really only because they got spurned or they lost out on Star Wars that they were like, okay, we need to make it up with something. And that something was He-Man.
Hot.
Yeah. Anyway, we also talk about Ronald Reagan quite a bit in the episode.
Hot.
Yeah, absolutely. So lots of fun stuff there. Go listen to that episode. And next episode, we're going to be watching and talking about the Mary Tyler Moore Show. So that'll be fun. That's a show I remember quite fondly from watching Nick at Night. So that'll be cool. I also have a YouTube channel, Chase K Plays, where I am playing through Pokemon TCG Generations, which is a ROM hack of the Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color. It's a series called I'm Still Just a Bill, and I gotta say, it's been so fun playing through that game. Not enough people are watching that, but that is a fun series, and I'm having a blast. So go check that out.
Hell yeah, man. That is awesome. Well, we will be back next week with our hot takes from the Summer Game Festival and maybe a little wink and nod to 10 years as a podcast. So tune back in, get our vibes and thoughts on Keighley and all the shit going on. Hottest takes here at the Casual Hour. That's what we promised. And then between now and then,